let's try this again, shall we? I mean, I don't want to. I want to be really clear. I do not want to be on here at all. It feels very futile to be on here. And I'm doing this video to let people know I'm safe. I'm okay. I did a week of severe insomnia. Felt like having COVID all over again. And because I have long COVID, so when my body goes through a lot of stress, it can kick up those symptoms. So had a week of insomnia, which I forgot how awful that is. And so I didn't feel like it was responsible to get on here, knowing I was going to have to deal with all kinds of lunacy. And then I got sick afterwards. I tried making some different videos, but with ADHD, when I experience a lot of pain, when I go to reply to it, it's like my brain gives me 25 answers at the same time, and so nothing comes out, and everything feels fake or disingenuous or disconnected. So I just have to wait till it finally comes out. And so again, I'm making this because I don't want people concerned about me. And I appreciate the messages. I appreciate the conversations. It's really interesting to find out who continues to be kind in the middle of conflict. And it's really hard when you watch content creators go through really rough patches that you feel are undeserved, and then they don't keep that kindness for other creators. They just want to jump on here and create more rage and get money and whatever it is. It's really sad. So when I've watched mutuals go through things like this that I knew were undeserved, who are just the best of the best people, it made me want to get off then, because the left has a rage problem. And I know because I dealt with it. I had a rage problem from COVID. I gave into a rage that I had never had before. It doesn't mean I don't feel rage and I don't get angry. That's why it's friendly honey badger. Like, I come on here to bring good, but that doesn't mean I don't have that, because I do. And everyone should have those range of emotions. But when that rage happens, what you do with that, you are responsible for, right? And the left, given everything that's happened, has a lot of PTSD. It really does. So I'm not invalidating the rage, but what I'm saying is when I was feeling that, and then after the election, my rage doubled down, it made me feel like I could do or say anything I wanted, that I didn't need reason or judgment to do it. And that's because reason or rage shuts off reason and judgment and logic, shuts off your memory, and it allows your body to go haywire. It actually leads to chronic illnesses. It leads to all these problems. There's nothing good that rage does, but the brain gets tricked into believing I need rage to be effective. I need rage for confidence, for motivation, for purpose, so that I can be proactive. It's just none of it is true. But the brain likes the chemicals that gets released, so it likes to keep with it. And then once it rages, like it sees a comment it doesn't like or a content creator doesn't like, it just lashes out, and then it'll start to calm down, but then it starts to feel agitated again, or feel depressed, or feel tired, and so it'll hop back on here to get rage again. The billionaires know this. This is what this is designed to do. So people said, well, make a video explaining this, and say this, and say this, and it was like it didn't matter, because the algorithm wasn't going to let my videos go out, but it was letting every rage bait, untrue video go viral, just be everywhere. I couldn't flip through this and not see it everywhere. And I was getting death threats. I was getting letters of disappointment. I was getting called every name that there was, all this stuff. And so it's hard because, okay, I teach about cults on here, which was never my plan. I made this because I had to start a business. And I started talking about cults because I realized people don't know that they leave in silence, and that's a good thing to know. And that even though you said, well, I told them 100 times and I've told them for years, it doesn't matter, because you're dealing with a cult. And so that was an important message. And I had therapists and psychiatrists and doctors and politicians reach out and say, yes, this is the conversation we need to have, because people don't know how to be effective because they're dealing with a cult, and they think what they say is breaking through, but it doesn't. They think everyone's just ignoring it and just acting that way, versus realizing they're in a cult. And then people are leaving the cult, and we're having people with nervous breakdowns and psychosis. And so yes, please keep talking about this. But what you saw over the last couple weeks was what I deal with regularly. That's what's so hard. And I have videos about this where I specifically said, I don't know how to talk about this because I just get attacked. About 75 to 80% of the comments are threats, or they're, whether they don't threaten me, they threaten the right, or they say all these angry things, and people on the right see this. They watched all of this unfold over the last couple weeks. They were specifically watching to see how they would find ways to unite and work with us. And that's what they saw. So lots of times I'll go and delete comments because I know that they're reading them, and I don't want them to see someone in their rage commenting, because your rage removes your logic, it removes your reason, it removes all that stuff. Your amygdala goes haywire, goes into fight or flight, and then it shuts off your prefrontal cortex. And then you don't remember that because you don't really have a memory, and then you just go on to the next thing. And again, that's how billionaires design it. They want the rage bait. They've created wars in countries doing this, and they were able to do it easily. And you could say, well, no, it was because you did this. Is that what happened to Elise Myers? She didn't say something people wanted her to say, and they tried to destroy that woman who was on here to work through things, to be a good person, to be helpful, to be relatable. She brought so much joy and kindness to people's lives, but someone didn't say, or she didn't say the thing people wanted her to say the way she said it. So destroy. That is what rage does. It is pure destruction. It's destruction. And again, the brain gets tricked into believing we need the rage to be proactive. What proactive thing has happened out of it? I will wait all day. Tell me the strategy that comes with rage. Everything I talk about is a strategy. Whether that's uniting with people you don't agree with to go do a task that needs to be done to protect people, or if it's working on our own rage so that we can actually engage people, so that we can help them stop believing a certain way and believe a different way that will be better for all of us. Because when I was in my rage, I was pushing people away that agreed with me because I just wanted to rehash my rage all the time. They'd walk in the door, do you know what happened today? And they couldn't handle it to where they'd stop coming around, and made me really sad. And I was like, what's going on? Like, you make us not want to be alive. You have us so stressed and scared all the time. It just makes us shut down. That's part of why I keep doing videos, is I know that's what's happening to a lot of you. You get fear mongers on here, or rage baiters, and then it makes everyone shut down and not be proactive. You just need knowledge to be proactive. That's it. Like, you know the difference between right or wrong. It's that simple. So while I try and understand the way the right thinks, because I used to be one of them, I was raised over there in that cult, I also have to remember that I had the rage that the left has. I still have all the time. I have to go interact with them so I can gauge what's going on, so I can talk to you. I have to go on their websites and look at their stuff. I have rage come up every single time. But if we don't engage it and we just stay in our rage, it will only cause destruction. And I had to be very honest with myself, because I knew that it was like I was dumping toxin into the ground and telling everybody that my toxin was going to create flowers for people down the road. They would create nourishment and food and protection for people down the road, which was not true. Like, when I rage and I make things on the worst right, or make things on the right worse, and I alienate people around me, because if they say one thing I don't like, I'm going to try and crucify them. You tell me what kind of world that's creating. Because I got to a place where, like, I was willing to think the unthinkable, and I felt justified in it. But it isn't justified. It feels justified, but it is not justified, because that kind of rage removes your logic, removes emotional intelligence. It removes all of that. And it just becomes caveman. So that is what I experienced. But that's what I experience anytime I talk about cults. And I have mutuals that anytime they talk about something you don't like, and it doesn't matter what color the content creator is, if they say something you don't like, they're MAGA, they're bad, they're evil, they're a psyop, they're crazy, it's a grip. Like, no, it just challenges what you believe. It's that simple. We cannot grow until we deal with our own rage. That is where we have to be the change. It is not fun. Rage feels fun. Being responsible for your rage does not feel fun. But that's what is needed.